Oh, oh my god! What the hell? What are the name of all things good and holy? Hello and welcome to Gratuitous Space Battles by Positech Games. It's available on Steam for Windows and Mac, as most of the games I play tend to be. And it is, unsurprisingly, about spaceships fighting each other in space, and the gratuitous tends to be the weakest word. I wouldn't say these battles are particularly gratuitous, but there's definitely battles in space. So I'll just show you what the game's about. Starting off with battle. You get a number of different missions for each race, and there's a number of different races. You unlock missions as you do previous missions, so for example to grade up mission I haven't proved myself battle worthy, so I haven't done well enough or completed enough of my previous missions, so yes, you unlock missions as you go along. I may as well show you the tutorial. It's probably the best way of starting. So this is your sort of pre-mission screen. At the right hand side in red you're seeing all the enemy ships you'll be facing off. You can't get precise details on the ships, but you can see from the shapes of the hull and the size of the hull roughly what they're going to be doing. I suppose as you play the game more you can understand exactly what each hull can have. On this side, in this lightly coloured area, are all of your ships. So I'm starting off with 3 tutorial cruisers, 2 tutorial frigates, and a squadron of 3 tutorial fighters. Fighters always stay in a squadron, so you could have a squadron as small as 1. I think it goes about as large as 16. So there's a number of different races. I'm playing the Federation, there's a number of others, and some are only available with DLC. I think there's about 5 different types of DLC with this game at the moment. You can design new ships, so you get to pick the hull you want, some of which are locked. You can buy them for credits as you do better in the game and earn some stuff. You can change what is on the ship, so there's these hexagon shapes which tend to be weapon systems, and the squares tend to be other stuff like engines, crew quarters, power modules, sort of the unfun stuff, but is mandatory for your ship to function. And again, you can also buy different things to go on your ship as you progress through the game and get credits to unlock it. How did I go back? Sorry. So aside from being able to pick what your ships are, as in modifying them, you can also buy different amounts of ships. You get a pool allocated to you how much you can spend in each mission. Obviously each ship has a different cost based on how big it is and what you put on it. So if I just get rid of this, I now have enough money for, say, 16 fighters if I so desired. I could buy normally attack cruiser, Nimble Fox frigate. I think these are my own custom ones, and I have some bad naming systems. Or I could just, instead of having one big cruiser, I could buy, you know, a lot more fighters if I thought that was a good idea. Excuse me. So aside from being able to reallocate your money, you also have a number of pilots. So obviously, whilst you could have tons of fighters, cost-wise, you know, if you have a squad of 16 fighters, that does require 16 pilots. You're going to quickly run out of pilots. And also, you may give each of your ships orders and also choose where they deploy within the grey area. So, aside from prioritizing, so the two bars, one prioritizes how important the target is. So, this particular ship is prioritized heavily towards attacking cruisers, then towards frigates, and then finally fighters. And then you also choose how close it needs to be before it will attack. So basically your ships are going to fly forwards at the speed they normally go, and once they get within sort of this attack range, they're going to start chasing the ship depending on what priority there is. And here you're getting information about exactly what the range of all your weapons are, so there's no point sort of deciding close to like 500 when you can shoot them at 900. You can also add extra orders which do various things. Cooperative allows you to concentrate fire on particular ships. You can protect ships, cause an escort, blah blah blah. So there's a lot to it. It is quite a strategic game. But I'm just going to kind of fire off as it is, without giving them anything beyond their default orders. As you see, each different ship has sort of default orders of different priorities. So fighters tend to focus on fighters, frigates tend to focus on frigates, cruisers tend to focus on cruisers. You know, kind of matching up the class of ships to one another. So this is the game. You don't get to control this part. All you're setting up in the pre-mission, that's you control in the game. All I can do here is watch and pray I win. So as we can see here, potentially buying all those fighters was not a good idea, or at least shooting this ship with them wasn't too good an idea, because you're seeing there, armor fighters hit ping off the hull. Now I can click on each of my ships. They do get weird and wonderful default names. You can rename them if you so desire. I can see all the different stats of my ship, so the shield, the hull, shield stability, armor strength, and then the recharging of all the different weapons and other equipment it's got on board. And down on the left hand side I can see the status of all of my different ships. So I'm going to wipe your fleet, please wipe your fleet, which I think is my fighters. And then here you can see in the top the relative strengths of the different, the relative healths of the different fleets. And at the top there's the stream of interesting conversation trying to let you know what's going on. Now, seeing you can't really control much, you may just want to speed up the game. I kind of pray you win. And there's various things you can do to view the game. That's all you can do, except for I'll take a screenshot, that's why I paused. Yeah, so you kind of sit back and watch. It's your choice if you want to watch it in real time and feel the tension building, or whether you just want to speed it up like I do. And hope that my two big ships can take out their big ships. It looks like the answer is going to be yes, I'm hoping. So yeah, that's me won. I earn honor, sorry, that's the sort of currency used to buy things. I can look at my statistics, so I can see what was effective. The reason for looking at statistics aside from gloating is that you can replay missions. And if you, say, replay a mission and you do it with having spent less money and spent less pilots, then you'll gain more honor should you win. Obviously if you lose, you're not really going to gain much because you lost. So if I do this quickly again, minus all my fighters, I got 56 honor I believe last time. So assuming I win this one, I should earn more honor because I spent less. Also I'm going to lose less ships because obviously none of my fighters are going to die because I have no fighters. Although I'm probably still going to lose these two up front. Perfect moment there, I was going to say this is going better, but no. Now we're back to where we were before. So obviously you can't click on the enemy ships to see exactly what they got on them. You're going to have to learn weapons they have from the aesthetics. So there you go. A lot more honor because I spent not too much less money. I think it was only about 9,000 credits, but a lot less crew. Sorry, a lot less pilots. So yeah. So there's definitely winning missions is one thing, but winning missions with less resources or making it sort of hard for yourself by spending less is a better way to go. And again, I can view statistics and yeah, different stats, which I'm not going to go into. So aside from the battle mode, which is basically individual missions, there's also campaign mode. I would go into that, but to be honest, I don't really understand it. I'll just briefly show you what I do understand. So you can choose your race. Some are locked, you need to spend honor to unlock certain races. These races at the bottom I believe are unlocked because they're DLC. You can also pick your difficulty, change the name of your campaign, and also change where you're playing, which affects what planets are in, how many planets are in. So this is the map of the universe, I believe, because I'm not really sure with the campaign you're meant to take over everything. This is my starting planet, which is green, and you get different types of three different types of buildings you can have on it. Your default planet, I do believe, has it fully upgraded, but again, I'm not really knowledgeable with this. So you build fleets instead of each mission. Each mission where you get to allocate pilot resources, you actually got to build your ships at your planets with naval yards. Your money is up here. You also generate money based on your planets, and likewise based on your academies, you get a certain amount of pilots each week and different crews each week. Because I'm not sure if that's in the battle mode. Let me just double check. But each yes, just go to this. No, I don't believe it's in the battle mode, but each ship does actually have a crew complement to make things run. If I go in... right, so let me show you building a ship. So there's crew modules, which give me a certain amount of crew supplied, and you need crew to operate different things. So, for example, to have this engine working, I would need 14 crew, as I will start complaining about here. Then I shove in a crew module, and all of a sudden I've got enough crew. And yes, you can just add things sort of willy-nilly while paying attention, and when this goes red, adjust and fix stuff as you want. So, yes, if I go back to the campaign, so I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, there's crew and there's pilots. So crew, pilots are up here, and yeah, that's unfortunately I don't really know how to play the campaign, so I'm just going to leave there. It is turn-based, so I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, that it takes a turn to move, and then if you enter a hostile region, you sort of have a battle with your ships. And I don't know if you noticed when I was doing the battle before, but there was a sort of retreat fleet button sort of in the top center here. That's how to get your ships to run away while losing them all, instead of just fighting to the death and losing all your fleet and, you know, having to start from scratch. So yeah, that's a campaign. So the other thing is challenges, or our challenges. You can create a custom challenge, which allows you to pick the background map, the budget, pilots, map size, and that's just deploy. So basically, I set up my ships. God, how much money did I actually put in? Is that all I can throw in? That'll be fine. And I create a challenge. Right, so that's me submitting a challenge online. And people can now play against this configuration with all my complex strategies set up. And should I win, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that I will start gaining honor, and if they beat me, then they will gain honor based on how difficult my challenge was to beat. And then I will also get messages about when people beat me or not. Finally, there's a Fleet HQ, where I can look at all the things which are locked, as well as some of the stuff I've purchased. So these are different modules, which are different weapons, different armor, droids, plenty of different stuff, different ship hulls, so I've got more choice, and also different races. So here's the honor I've accrued from the battles and from the campaign. This is how much it costs to buy something, and I just click unlock to purchase it, for instance. So that's Gratuitous Space Battles. I say it's available on Steam currently for £18. The complete pack, which includes the 5 DLC, as I remember correctly, is currently £30. However, I will say Gratuitous Space Battles is currently within the Indie Bundle 4, if I'm not mistaken, and well, I picked it up in a sale when it was a lot cheaper than £30, so I advise you pay attention. Seeing it's coming up to Christmas, it'll probably be cheap, and also just in general, I'd probably pick it up when it was a bit cheaper. But yeah, Gratuitous Space Battles. Hope this has given you some insight in the game and allowed you to make an informed purchase or no purchase or whatnot.